Good morning. You're watching Breakfast Television, Being the Strong Man a Woman Wants. Timeless Wisdom on Being a Man by Katz. He is here with us today, and I understand that you were actually on Breakfast Television with Ann Romer, the very first show back in 1989.
Yeah.
You're kidding.
Yeah, it's great to be back.
What, is that the last time you were on the show?
Actually, I was on another time a few years later for a book I wrote about walking trails in Toronto.
Okay, all right.
It's great to be back.
It's great to have you here. Okay, tell me about your book.
Well, I came to write it. I was married for 10 years, and then I got divorced. And like a lot of people, at first I blamed the other person. Then I came to realize, well, what do I have to learn from this? I don't want to go through this again. So I sort of started this journey seeking insight. What does it mean to be a man in a relationship? And first,
well, not a lot of men would do that.
Well, I don't know, because when I started talking to other men, everybody seemed confused. We got all these messages about being sensitive and developing our feminine side, but it's not working. So I read like a mountain of books about marriage and relationships, and they really didn't say anything to me about what it means to be a man in a relationship and marriage. So then I started looking at the lessons that fathers and other older men used to teach younger men about being a man in a relationship. And the interesting thing was, it seemed to coincide, what I learned seemed to coincide with what I heard a lot of women complain about what was lacking in men. That they don't show leadership, they don't make decisions, they don't take responsibility, they seem to leave everything to the woman, and they think they're being nice guys, nice, sensitive guys.
But we want a man that's going to take charge.
Well, it's going to take charge, show leadership. It's not about being controlling and dominating. It's men have gone to the total opposite. They're so afraid of being accused of being controlling and domineering that they're leaving all the decisions to women. There was a study recently done in the United States that showed 43% of couples, the woman makes all the important decisions, and the men are happy with that. They think that's great, but
aren't we happy with that?
Are women happy with that?
I don't know. I don't really know what we want, really.
Would you be happy with that? Well,
I'm never happy.
Well, I think what people don't realize is if you leave all the decisions to your wife, you know, when there's a problem, like she's turning to you and you're saying, well, what do you think we should do? You're leaving everything to her. It's very frustrating for her.
Yeah, it does kind of drive me crazy a little if somebody's always saying, well, what do you want to do?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you're always making the decisions.
Right.
Sometimes I want to make the decisions, but I think you're right. I think I want somebody maybe to take
sharing
control.
Decision-making, and really, so many men have gone to the other extreme and think, well, I'll just let her decide. She seems to know more about raising the kids. She seems to know what she wants. I'll just go along, and then she should be happy, and then they don't understand. Why is she so frustrated with me? Why isn't she happy? I'm being such a nice, sensitive guy.
Now, you talk about your grandfather in the book.
Well, it's a story. I put it as a story as a grandfather and grandson because it seems like it's missed a generation. Like this generation of men seem to grow up without strong male role models. Like a lot of kids are from divorced families, or else their fathers worked long hours, and most boys were raised by women. So they weren't as influenced as in previous generations by a strong male role model.
So some men just didn't have somebody to look up to.
Right. They didn't really learn. So many men who read the book say, well, oh, no one's ever told me this before. Why didn't someone tell me this? And men have said to me, divorced men have said, if I would have known this when I was married, I wouldn't be divorced. And I've had divorced women say, if my husband had understood these crucial truths, our marriage would not have disintegrated.
Now, men can change. Men do want to learn, and this isn't a book about picking somebody up. This isn't a pickup artist book. This is about having a long-lasting relationship with a woman and not splitting up. Right.
It's really the insight that men used to learn in older days about how to make a marriage and relationship work. Like to take leadership. It's not, there's a big difference between, people saying, are you saying men should be controlling? There's a big difference. Leadership takes self-confidence. It's about thinking about the greater good. It's about stepping forward. And you see a problem in your family. Let's say you have a child that's, is having a problem in school, and, teachers try, and you think, well, my wife, she knows more about kids, I'll leave it to her, but then you're frustrating her. Says, well, as you see a problem, step forward, do some research, try to solve it, and then...
Very quickly, the top 3 things that men should know?
Show leadership, make decisions, don't be afraid of making decisions, take responsibility. If something goes wrong, don't blame your wife. Take responsibility and solve the problem.
Don't ever blame your wife, Kevin Frankish. Never.
Absolutely.
Being the strong man a woman wants, Timeless Wisdom on Being a Man by Katz. Thank you so much. That's what I want to hear. Back into you, Kevin.